Hey Angel, how are you?
Good, Remy. How are you?
Good, good. As I told you, I have a full-fledged financial service agency, and what I do there is help people identify their gaps. Okay, so most of the time we work for money, but we don't focus on how our money is working for us.
Okay.
Okay, so what I help people with is all these different things, right? Will and trust, all the way from will and trust, kids education, all the way to building wealth. And there are so many things, and oftentimes it gets very confusing. Right? Have you started with a financial planner?
No.
Do you even have a financial planner?
No.
So don't you think that's very important? Because just like you go for an annual medical checkup, don't you think it is important to have a check on your finances?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I help with, Angel. So I help people understand, do some kind of plannings and things. Because when you look at the basics of finances, you can categorize them into all these different options. So it can be increasing your cash flow, debt management, emergency fund, protection, building wealth, or preserving wealth. And everyone has one of these needs, right? At least one of these needs.
Okay.
Okay. What's wrong is that there are so many different solutions. Okay. And oftentimes you are confused with which would be a better one to park your money, being a short-term or a long-term investment. And on top of it, there are so many different providers.
Okay.
The problem is which provider has which solution that fits my need. So I try and simplify this, Angel. There is always people who have needs, and there are different solutions. So what I try to do is I bridge the solutions based on the needs.
Okay.
Okay. So if I ask you a question of what is the biggest expense on your pay slip, what would be your guess?
Mortgage.
Okay. So most of us think about it, right? Because that takes, well, once it comes into your bank account, we feel that is what is taking the biggest chunk of your check. But what about your taxes, Angel?
Oh, yeah.
You don't even see this, right? You don't even see this coming in. And federal taxes on top of it, you have state taxes, and some states, they escape from it, but they can get compensated, right? If the state tax is not there, there's some other thing that gets compensated with it, because the state anyway needs money. And after all these things, you pay sales tax for everything that you go with, right? You buy anything you buy and do it, so you have sales tax. And maybe in some of the states, even the sales tax is gone, but then it is compensated again with some other taxes, right? So then comes the property taxes. So if you look at this picture, do you see a pattern? Now tell me what could be your biggest expense?
Taxes.
Taxes. So this is one thing I want you to understand, Angel. Taxes being a biggest part of your expenses, now let's go, what else is driving the rest of your life, right? Your health insurance, that is another major expense that everyone has, right? Mortgage. And then comes all the other expenses that you do. If you want to cut down your expenses, where do you think you can shrink? Where do you think you really have control on?
Only the last part.
But how much can you control, Angel? Even within this, being the smallest part of your check, even if you cut down some expenses, how much will you be able to cut it down to? It's very hard, right? So either you can try and keep doing it, right, shrinking that part, or you can try and expand your income.
Okay.
Okay. So if you're If you're interested in expanding your income, Angel, because that is more of a real possibility, let me know. I can help you with that. Okay?
Okay.
Next, when it comes on diversification, since we learned all about this taxes being a major portion of the expenses, have you ever thought about diversifying your tax dollars, your money based on taxes? I generally categorize into 3 different buckets. The first one is being tax now, which is going to be a payslip, right? W2, 1099, K1, C1. Is there any way you can avoid taxes on it?
No.
No. But where you grow is something that you can control on, right? Like you can put it in 401k. Most people have 401ks from their employer. If not, they can open their own SEP IRA or any other IRA accounts. But again, there they are only deferring the taxes. They're not saving the taxes. You understand that, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Huh? Did you know about the 50% penalty?
No. What is that?
So IRS has a table which calculates a required minimum distribution when you hit 70 and a half years, and that is your crucial time when your retirement is getting started. Right? You're just getting started with the retirement, and you may be thinking, okay, I want to live a little conservatively because I don't know how long I'm going to live. At that point, when you're wanting to take the money out, and you wanted to take very less money because you wanted it to last forever, but the IRS comes in and says, no, there is a required minimum distribution that you have to take, otherwise there is a flat 50% penalty.
Okay.
Again, do you control it? Do you have an option to skip it? No. Huh? So that is something you need to be aware of when you're funding a 401k. And talking about that, do you match or max your 401k, Angel?
Match.
Match. That's very good. So you're taking advantage of every single penny that employer is matching you?
Yes.
Are you doing it in traditional or Roth, Angel?
Traditional.
Traditional. So you understand that you're not saving money, right? You're just deferring the money.
Yes.
Okay. So if you have an option to save money, that is something you can think about, because the other bucket I'm going to talk about is going to be tax advantage account, where you pay the taxes today and you never have to worry about paying the taxes on the growth.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think your money is going to grow or shrink?
Definitely grow.
Grow. Everyone wanted their money to grow, right? And it's going to be multiple times of what you are putting in, whatever you are contributing in. What IRS is literally doing is, when you're deferring the taxes, is saying, okay, you don't have to pay on your seed, but when you harvest it, right, when it grows up and you have the multiple times growth, you pay for all of them together. Do you think that would be a smart idea to do, Angel?
No.
So that is the reason I want you to think about this, how important tax advantage is. Because with your 401k, if you have an option to fund it to your Roth, that might be one possibility where you can grow your money, at least 50% of your money tax-free.
Okay.
Okay, that way you're diversifying the dollars. Okay. And there are other vehicles where you can grow your money tax-free, which is one of them is Roth, municipal bonds, HSA, and the very famous LSA. Are you using any of these, taking advantage of any of these buckets, Angel?
No.
And do you
What
think
is that?
it's something that you need to?
LSA, HSA means?
Oh, that's a very popular accounts where you don't have a limitations, because oftentimes when it comes to tax advantage accounts like your IRA Roth, that is a question comes up if you could really qualify for it.
Okay.
Okay, so there are income limitations which will restrict you from qualifying for those accounts. So people, instead of fighting with that, they just go with the other accounts such as the LSA, where there is no limit. And literally, again, there are some certain qualification criteria that you may have to go through, but most of us might qualify for us, and you can max fund it there, so you can take advantage of those tax-free growth.
Okay.
Okay. Remind me later, I can walk you through the details of it.
Okay.
Okay. So now, as this, just think about this, right? If your tax dollars are diversified, you have money here coming in, and you always pay taxes on it. You have money here in the tax later bucket that you are contributing. Are you having any money here? Maybe if you have a Roth 401k, if you are going to contribute to Roth 401k, then you are equally distributing between the two buckets.
Okay.
It's very important. We talked about all these taxes and things. The reason I'm stressing about this is because of the history of taxes.
Okay.
Okay. Do you see how high the taxes can go, Angel, or has been before?
Yeah, 94%, 81. Yeah.
So today, if you are at, let's say you are at 25%, around 25%, 22%, and the highest tax margin is around 38, 39%, Angel. Tomorrow, if the government decides to raise the tax to 70%, what do you think your tax brackets will be?
Then it should be 50 something, right?
Yeah, it can be pushed definitely higher, right? Because if they're not just going to raise it on the top higher things and not on the other things. I mean, that is where they get the most income. So this is one reason why I've been stressing about taxes. I want you to be educated and make an educated decision depending on how the taxes goes, right? I'm not saying that we need to put it in one single bucket. It needs to be diversified across all three buckets. Does it make sense, Angel?
Yes. Yeah.
So let's look at the investment diversification, right? So when it comes to investments, most of the time we choose vehicles that we are comfortable with. We never think about how they are growing, how they are getting diversified based on the growth. What I mean is, there is one way of growing, very popular way, is fixed account, right? Wherever your account money comes in. And you heard about rule of 72, Angel?
No.
Rule of 72 is a very simple compounding formula that Albert Einstein came with, where 72 by rate of return is the number of years it takes for your money to double. So if you're earning at 1%, right, if the banks give you that 1%, it's going to take you 72 years for your money to double. Do you think it's a good option, Angel?
Oh, no.
Right? So rate of return, right? Growing it at a good rate of return is very important. So if you're having some emergency fund or any other money that is just sitting in the bank, it is really losing money because inflation by itself is 2 to 3%. So if you're not growing at a minimum 3%, your money is actually losing value every day.
Okay.
Okay. So I have some options, Angel. If you're looking to park some money in fixed option, I can show you some options that give you better returns if you're interested. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now that we know about of the fixed options, the other one is a variable, right? Anything else, everything else you can think of probably would be a variable investment. Right?
Yeah.
Your 401k account, your real estate, everything can change with market conditions. It can go up and down, fluctuate wildly. Have you heard about this option, Angel? Most of the time, people get surprised when I talk about this option. There's something called a mixed option where you can participate in the market growth, and the market goes down, you're 100% protected.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
Yeah. Would it be good if you can grow your hard-earned money to a certain limit and then protect it if the market crashes? Because the market crash happens overnight, 1 month, 1 week, right? It is very quick. By the time you want to make a decision, your money is gone. So how about if you have a protection at that point where you don't have to worry when the market crashes? Will that be good?
Yes. Good.
So we can go through that option, right? I can walk you through that option. So we have money again in fixed account, we have money in variable. Don't you think we need to have some money here in the mixed account as well?
Yes. No.
So because it's very important to have this because we don't know when the next recession is.
Okay.
Right? So they normally say every 10 years the market crash happens, correction happens, and then it again goes back. And whenever that happens, we need that protection. Otherwise, it's going to wipe out most of your profit that you earned over a period of time.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
So let's see how your money is doing, Angel. When you look thinking about investment, what are all the things that you think is very important, Angel, for in your opinion?
Growth, safety.
Okay. Okay. So when you say growth, Angel, how much of a growth are you expecting?
I think 8%.
8%?
Yeah. 8.
Is it after tax or before tax?
After or before? After tax.
So what is the vehicle that you know that gives you 8% after tax rate?
I don't know.
Sorry?
I don't know.
Okay. So I was talking about what would be a reasonable growth expectant that you can expect, right? In the vehicles that you know that you are comfortable investing in, where you are getting some good decent return. Let's say real estate, stock market, whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
What would be a good return? I just want to understand what a good return means to you.
5 to 6% will be right. 5, 6, 7.
Okay, 5, 6, 7. Is it after tax or before tax? These vehicles that you are thinking about.
I think it's before tax. April. Oh
You're
yeah.
not sure?
Yeah, not sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, if I think about, right, you don't have, often I cannot come up with something that gives you after tax returns, right? Always it's going to be before tax return and whatever growth you need to pay, stock market or wherever you think about. And what about, you told safety, right, Angel? How important is it for you?
That's very important. Yeah.
Can you name few vehicles that gives you 100% safety? CD account, right? CD checking account. Probably, we don't know, right? That has a limit of 250K per person, but still it is much more safer compared to everything else. But other than that, can you think of anything else, Angel, that comes with a guaranteed safety returns on your contribution?
No.
Not really, right? Every investment comes with a subject to market risk, right?
Market.
So what else can you think of, Angel? Let me name you a few, right?
Okay.
So liquidity, don't you think that is important? Whenever you need the money, you should be able to access it.
Yes. Yes.
Tax advantage. Don't you want that money to grow tax-free?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? Otherwise, every year you will end up paying more and more in taxes, right? Your money will keep growing, you'll keep getting more and more income, but the taxes will also compound with it.
Yeah.
How about income stream?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a very important one, right? Because let's say you have 2 million and you are ready to retire. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to distribute that money? That is the important question that comes up at that point, right? When you are not going to have any more income, it's how you are going to withdraw it, how you are going to get a guaranteed income. How about living benefits? Meaning, in case if you are disabled, where is the income going to go? What is going to replace your income? Or if you are going to retire, where are you going to get that income from? Right? So that alternative option should be there, right? Tax-free legacy transfer and all this ourselves that we are building, Angel. Don't you think we are building little more than what we really need? We are putting all these efforts and time and everything because we wanted to leave something behind for our kids. Don't you agree?
Yes. Yeah.
Right? And then there are so many complications in it, right? When you leave it back, there are so many restrictions, inheritance taxes, estate taxes and whatnot. So we need to be able to make sure that we are able to do a free legacy transfer. Don't you agree?
Yes.
So let's compare some of the common things that can fit into these categories, okay? Because there is no one option as the best option. There is always advantages and disadvantages. So taking at the most famous one, stocks. High risk, high reward. Okay? Don't you think these are right? Other than growth and liquidity, you don't have anything else there.
Okay, yeah.
Of course, if you do it in a Roth IRA account, probably you can get it, but then there is a disadvantages. It has a locking period, right? Until 59 and a half, you cannot take it out. How about real estate? That is even more popular. It has a growth and it can give you an income stream with this rental income. But other than that, 2008 proved that it was not safe.
Yeah.
How about I give you something that gives you all these benefits? Will you be interested in it, Angel?
Yes. Yes. Why not?
Do you think it is fair to say we park a portion of the money there, growing there, because it gives all those advantages?
Yes.
Okay. So now that we talked about all these investments, Angel, let's take a step back about the foundation, right? Financial house foundation. You need to, all this wealth is going to take some time, right? It's going to take over a period of time. You're going to build all this wealth. But when you're building it, you need to be having a proper protection in place, right? That is why I say building wealth with responsibility. When we are young, we have so much of responsibilities. Have you ever thought, what if you die too soon? How are you going to build that wealth that you are planning to? Yeah? That will be a disaster scenario, right? So that is something you need to cover. And what kind of responsibilities am I talking about? There is a simple formula called DIME that will help you calculate this. D for debt, I for income replacement, M for mortgage, E for kids education.
Okay.
General rule of thumb, you need to have 10 times your salary protected, right? Because you wanted to leave at least 10 times of your income that you are earning today for your family to continue the life they are living today. Don't you agree?
Yes. Yes.
And when it comes to mortgage, whatever outstanding mortgage balance you have, or if you have a rental property, then the rental cost needs to be covered, right? At least for the next 10 years. So that will give them time to stabilize and get back to taking care of their family. Okay. And kids education. Again, as a kid, depending on the age of the kids, if you have 10 years, 15 years time, and if you are planning to do something for the kids education, then that is something it's very important to be protected, because if something happens during that time, you want that money to be safeguarded.
Okay.
Right? So these are the responsibilities talking about, India. And with this responsibilities, right, will go away with time. As you get older, all these are going to disappear. Hopefully everything is good, right? 99% of the time, that is what is going to happen. We are all going to be good. All these responsibilities go away. So we had the protection when needed. Now you don't need the protection anymore. But there is another scenario that you need to think about as well. What if I get disabled? I didn't die, but if I get disabled, because most of the time, what do you think this death benefit is for? It benefits the family, right? It benefits the family when I die. That's the last gift I leave it to my family. But when it comes to disability, even when you are living, you will be able to accelerate a portion of the death benefit. Will that be good, Angel?
Yes, yes.
So what kind of living benefits I'm talking about? There are three varieties of it: chronic, critical, and terminal illness. So chronic illness is something where you're totally disabled. You're not able to perform your daily activities, right? Meaning whatever you do from the time you wake up in the morning, bathing, brushing, and things like that. At least two of these activities if you're not able to perform, then you can accelerate your death benefit. And critical illness, this is even more common, and I think this is even more important because of this particular benefit, where you have the stroke, cancer, end-stage renal failure, all these different conditions that might happen. And during those situations, you'll be able to accelerate the death benefit.
Okay.
Okay. And terminal illness, the doctor, if for some reason, all of us, these things comes as a surprise, right? Even a healthy person can get a cancer at a final stage. It cannot be curable. And the doctor says, okay, the person might die within the 24 months time frame. In those cases, again, you don't have to wait till you die, but you can accelerate. The provider allows you to accelerate 90% of your death benefit to use it to whatever you want to use it for.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So these living benefits, Angel, these doesn't come with any extra cost. So there are some specific providers who gives it as an add-on, as a bonus to your death benefit. So whatever you pay for the death benefit, this also gets included with it. Don't you think that's a big plus?
Yes.
Okay. So that's how we bring more value to the money, right? So this is the other scenario, and the last one is you're growing older. That is where most of us are going to end up with. So when you grow older, we need to think about the retirement planning, right? What if I live too long? Yeah? If I live too long, what do you want to happen, Angel? Do you want your money to take care of you or your kids to take care of you?
Money to take care of me. Yeah.
Definitely both, right? But we don't know about the other option. At least we know money is definitely to take care of you.
Yeah.
So let's think about the retirement need, Angel. When you compare 1980 to 2014, how much life really cost in US? That US has very low inflation, but still you can see how different it is, right? Everything has been going up. 15 cents stamp has been gone to 49 cents, 48 cents, eggs have gone to $2. Right? Home housing has gone up so much, but average income hasn't gone up so much. It has stayed almost the same. So if you think typically, right, today if you need $5,000, can you think of how much it will take down the line because of inflation? Right? 10 years down the line, it will be 8K. 20 years down the line, it will be 12K because of inflation, right? As the cost increases for the same quality of life, which means you need 3.6 million if you are going to live a 20-year life in your retirement.
Okay.
Okay. Have you ever thought about it, Angel?
No.
Because most of the time, the problem is we don't plan to fail. We fail because we don't have a plan. We don't know how much we need, where we need to get. And oftentimes, this inflation is something that no one thinks about. Okay, because we need to accommodate this average cost of living increase, which is 424%. Okay, so let's look at some retirement sources, Angel. Don't you think these are some typical retirement sources? 401k, people put it. They are hoping that their social security will give some retirement, right? Real estate, business, employer pension, annuities, personal pension.
Yeah.
And now, again, one of our key things that we discussed about, right? Taxes. Thinking about taxes, 401k is going to be taxable, social security is going to be taxable, real estate is taxable. All these things, except for the personal pension, which is tax-free. Right?
Yeah.
So you can either save more money or earn more money. You want to earn more, Angel?
Yes.
See, there is a tremendous need, starting from millennials all the way to seniors, right? There are so many people retiring and so many people starting to work. Everyone has a need for that money. We saw the basic things, right, that they need. When money is moved from one place to point A to point B, money is made. Okay. So how do we do it? Just as I told you before, there are people who have needs and there are solutions. We just have to link the solutions to the needs. And that is how we move money from point A to point B and we make money. Angel. How much money can we make? You start anywhere from 30 to 45%, right?
Okay.
In commissions, and then it keeps going up. You can open up your own agency. You can get 60 to 78%. Plus, there are some overrides that you can make when you open up an agency. And then you can go all the way to expansion income, where you can help people build their own agency. Just like I'm offering you, you will be able to bring in people, train them, and let them start their own agency. And your income potential can go all the way to 79 to 83%. Is this something you'll be interested in, Angel?
Yeah.
When do you think you can get started then? Because I'm looking for people who are really hungry for it, Angel. Are you that one of this person?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So if you see a dire need of the money, Angel, let's get started. Let's not delay it. So you can learn and earn at the same time.
Okay.
Any questions, Angel?
Good.